Hello, beautiful souls. Any messages that you're about to hear are not date specific. That's because energy is not only fluid, but we are all on different timelines and paths. If you feel you've been guided to this or any other video and it resonates, please know the message may be for you. The energy I receive sometimes comes in massive downloads, while other times it may be very fleeting. I rely on spirit to allocate exactly what it is I need to help convey in circumstances, situations, or relationships. I do my best to act as a vessel to help communicate what is best needed for the current moment. Above all else, please know it has not only been a privilege, but an amazing opportunity to work with the collective, as we are all together working to navigate our way through this thing we call life. And as always, I'm sending so much love and light. Hey, beautiful souls. Energies are intense, and I feel that I've been asked to talk about 3 different things. And I ask that you bear with me, because if I ramble, as I've tried to center my energies and find the best way of coming forward to talk about it, everything has a point, okay? Last night I had a dream. And again, like I wanted to say, I'm sorry if this goes longer than anticipated, or that I would like, but it's important. I had a dream, mine, okay, cool, I'll embody that. However, it left me very off-center, and I've been working to center that. It was more of like a horror scene, it was like a nightmare. But what was different about this dream that I've never had before, like this, it is very similar to that of what I've had of downloads. Usually my downloads will come with visions. I get bits and pieces, and then I will embody an emotion, and then I get a message from spirit. This dream, however, I got to see it played out like on a movie screen, and there's not flashes, like I still can visually remember it. I was not a part of the equation. It was other people, and the details are irrelevant, but I embodied the emotion like that, how I get downloads, and was able to embody everybody in the scene. And this is where it all kind of has led me, because I have struggled to talk about it, because one, if it's just my dream, it's mine, but there's a reason there's a reason I've started studying psychology, and it correlates to the two. Spirit is all loving. I've never ever my whole life have heard the spirit talk bad about anybody, even though there's been times that I wish that they would go on a rampage with me and agree that so-and-so is being a dick or a piece of shit and validate me all the way. They don't. They just don't. They see, and I get it, because that's another gift, the essence, the purity, the everything of that which we are, the soul. And it's unconditional, perfect love. But we are here in these bodies, and one thing that what drives me and why I'm fascinated with psychology is how our brains work, the neurology of it, everything. And one thing that, even though spirit sees the beauty in all of us, some of us are sick. That's the thing. Like here in the 3D, sometimes the neurons in our brain the receptors do not fire like that of the majority. And I think that there are, in this perspective, and what I'm bringing to you is 3 different levels. So we have this here in the 3D, you and me, physical flesh, matter, how things work. Then we have a spirit who guides us and loves us all of us unconditionally. And then we have our intuition, which I believe is the soul essence of who you are, Holy Spirit, higher self, whatever terminology you want to put with that. And then I only am going to throw this one in to help you get a better perspective of everything I'm trying to correlate, is no surprise or no question that is very well known that a narcissist and a empath are very prone to attract each other. And as an empath, we are very well known for embodying the emotion biologically within our system of what somebody is going through. And through excitement, the inhalation, I mean, we can literally, the physical symptoms of it, and for myself personally, if it is an emotion, I pick up on that. And it's also known that empaths, that there's a well-known quote, empaths are your human being lie detectors. And there's very much truth in that, because when an individual lies, there's a consciousness, and our heart rate will literally accelerate. That's why we can do lying detectors. Like lying detectors can catch that. And that is a normal human response to lying. Well, I had to learn the hard way. And I think it would be very beneficial for all to know. The people that are sick, the receptors that don't work like that, that don't understand understand actual genuine empathy, let me put it that way. They don't have that consciousness. Hence why I think many times the wool can be pulled over an empath's eyes, because we're used to that of the normal. But if somebody doesn't have a consciousness and are pathological liars, we don't pick up on that bodily sensation. It took me a lot of trial and error to realize, like, holy shit, like, they can flatline. And it's the weirdest thing ever. And if you're an empath. So what I'm trying to get with that is that while spirit loves us, and I think the worst I've ever heard them ever speak about anybody is that they haven't ever spoke bad about anybody. They can be very firm and very assertive with their words, but they still, they won't go down that rabbit hole. I do know from psychology and the things I have studied, people are sick, and I know that our intuition can spot these things well beforehand. However, we get caught in mind and head. So I'm going to bring all that forth. And it was all of this that brings me to this, because I don't want to be the bearer of, I don't want to instill fear in anybody. That is not my intentions for this thing, for my intention. However, let me make it very clear, and this is a part of our learning and our evolution too, so you have to know discernment. And that discernment is a part of that intuition, and to check in with spirit, pray, to get a clear understanding. However, if anybody is fighting a cognitive dissonance, hence they know better, but they feel something, please check in with spirit. Go in and do your own discernment. Check with your higher self, because the truth is at the end of the day, we really don't fully know anybody's full intention. I think our intuition does. I think that it can pick up on those things, and there's a lot of other things, even if you're an empath, you can pick up on. However, here on this 3D plane, physical matter, we are not in the pure rawness of our gorgeous souls, and that is part of our evolution, and that's part of our development. And that's why we have the hard, cold realities of people snapping. So that's not to bear fear in anybody. I just want to make it very clear that when we think we know, we really don't. And there's nothing more essential and imperative, because if I look at all of those at different spectrums, our intuition is the highest, best guide that we have. Please utilize that as needed. Second thing, and I thought about putting these in different, I'm just going to put it out there. The second one, I feel like there's a sense of bullying. Somebody's being bullied. And if this is even for one person, here it is. But the lesson that we can all take from it as well. I'm hearing clear as day. one of the most mature things we can do is to not have to have the last word. And I believe somebody's being asked to remember that. You know what's true within you. You've tried to discuss, you've tried to communicate. And I get it. I even get it with the cognitive dissonance, right? All these things are easier said than done. We're human. But there has been an enlightenment that's being shed upon you that save your energy. It's not necessary to have that last word, which will bring me to number 3. I think all of us have had some kind of truth, higher intuitive sensations that have, this is the energy I'm getting, that we are now coming to accept. However, there is a fear of rejection, I think. And I get this. And I don't mean to make any of these things about my experience. But I only want to correlate to the best that I can to communicate with you what I'm getting. Whatever experiences you may have had, those are for you. We don't have to push our ideologies or beliefs or faith on anybody. People that are receptive will hear it. However, I feel like there is the most loving way of asking us to step forward in our truth, the things that we can no longer deny, depending on whatever that may be for you. So, for me, honestly, I've had a lot of trial and error, and there's no way I can deny, like, my angels speak to me. And once I have fully accelerated, or at least been very much more receptive and open to these gifts, and I have asked to utilize it in the best way to help the collective, I get things like the very first message, and I'm like, wait, I didn't sign up for that. But then I'm reminded too, why am I doing it? Like, because I know in my heart, if it just hits one person, then there is a soul satisfaction, I guess. And I mean that in the most humblest way. It just like, okay, like I get it. And sometimes I put these messages out, and my ego gets up in the way, and I feel like an idiot. And the same kind of idiot that I felt a year ago when I was getting out of the uncomfortableness of thinking, well, this is what a crazy person looks like, just me. And then once I've come to accept and realize that, I'm leveling up in my own way and getting out of my comfort zone. And then I wake up 24 hours later and I feel like a dumb ass. And then somehow Spirit always delivers some kind of confirmation that that was exactly what was needed. And it does hit. And sometimes it's just one person. Sometimes the message can resonate with many of you guys. And I give so much gratitude for the confirmation, because I am still human. And I guess there is a fear of being cast as an outcaster and crazy. And it is kind of crazy. However, I begin very strongly that there are others that have had their own awakening in this sense. And I'm getting very strongly. So the weird thing, guys, and I know I'm getting, I know this is going to be a little bit longer. When I first understood that I was clairaudient, before I recognized names or who was who, I just knew it was the vibration that of higher love. And I still get this. I don't know, but I'm very conscious of what I accept in my aura and what I pick up on. I always thought it would be like Buddha. And I say this Buddha or something in that spectrum, because I've never considered myself very religious. Very spiritual, yes, but not very religious. And I've been kind of knocked off my rocker when I've had these realizations that I've got, I think I've spoke to you guys about it before. I've got my trio that I know very profoundly: Michael, Archangel Michael, Jesus, and Mary Magdalene. which I resonate very closely to religion. So I've been kind of, which is probably part of my own awakening. When there is universal truth to all of it. I always just thought it'd be Buddha and Gandhi and like Alan Watts, or, you know what I mean? Because those are the practices I was most familiar with. What I'm trying to get at is that I firmly believe that there is more out there than just what we've heard in the Bible and what has been socially acceptable. I almost think my own personal belief is almost an ignorance. And I'm getting the impression that other people have picked up on these things and also, again, strongly are feeling kind of the same hesitancy of coming forth. And I get it. I think there's just that. And that might be on the extreme. Maybe there's others that have just had their own awakening of a different level. That was probably on the extreme. Okay. But if you have, there's your confirmation. I get it. It's scary. And I think that's why Spirit has kind of, because through our vulnerability, you know you're not alone. And if you've had an amazing experience in your own reality, I don't think we should be hindering that, because those are gifts from Source. Those are gifts from our Creator, from the universe. And I guess it's a matter of, I think that might be a part of this, that pressure is breaking through that evolution to it comes back to, why are we doing it? So when I get the confirmation, I'm reminded, like, okay, if this helps one person, then my job's well done. And I feel blessings from Source, and I feel comfort that way. And until you break out of the fear or uncomfortableness, you can't really have any further expansion. I don't know. So I just feel like I needed to talk about that. I'm getting close to the 16-minute mark, which will put us close to 20, and I don't want to go much further. So I have so much love for you guys. Thank you for all your guys' confirmations when you guys speak to me, whether it's through private message or anything of the sort. So much love.